and hell. Moving on to my next segment. Speaking of their agenda, their LGBTQ plus agenda running this country into the ground. Check this out. Who could have saw this coming? A trans inmate serving time in New Jersey's women's prison for manslaughter has been moved out after getting 2 fellow convicts pregnant, according to the State Department of Corrections. Who could have saw that coming, right? Shocking, freaking shocking. But, I don't know how this works. How does a trans inmate get somebody else pregnant? You see like the conundrum I have here mentally I'm trying to follow. If they're trans, right? If they're clearly a biological male that went female, was moved into a female detention center, had sex with other females, even though it's not supposed to like other females because they're trans, because they're women. So that would make him lesbian. But then if he is now a biological, fictitious biological female, wouldn't that also make him bi because he's supposed to like guys and girls? But then you can't have non-binary and binary within the same sphere of the LGBTQ community because they contradict one another. You see where I'm going with this? This is where the stuff doesn't make sense, right? It's literally not logical, but they're still going to push it. So Demi Minor, 27, was transferred out of Edna Mahan Correctional Facility for Women in June. 2 months after NJ Advance media reports, Minor impregnated 2 women during consensual sexual relationships. Minor, who is serving a 30-year sentence and not eligible for parole until 2037, complained about being relocated to the Garden State Youth Correctional Facility on a website maintained by supporters. This is the hell that NJDOC wants to put me through. This is my punishment for what occurs over 2 months ago. They have violated my right to be safe and free from sexual harassment by putting me in one of the most violent youth correctional facilities. So you get tried and convicted for manslaughter, and you expect basically a castle, a nice suite for you to be in. This is crazy. And this is kind of where our correctional mindset is going, is they want to look towards some countries, and the country's name is slipping my mind, but literally they allow convicts just to roam free, and they get full-on apartments, TVs, everything, kitchens, literally everything, and you just roam free. You have all this ground. You're just basically living in an apartment complex while serving your time. So you get to go out and kill somebody, right? You can slaughter an entire family. And this is what the progressive Democrats that Bernie Sanders wants you to elect more on terms of climate change and things like this for them to have. So they'll slaughter your entire family, chop them up, and then go get to live a nice life with TV, cable, 3 meals a day paid for. They get education. They get faith services, whether you're Muslim or Christian or Catholic. You get a nice bed. You probably have a nice apartment than the family that he killed that was living in. This is the type of stuff they want to move into. I'm not saying they have that yet, but want to move into. And he's going to complain, or she, whatever the hell this person is, going to complain about their state of living because they literally freaking got convicted of manslaughter. It's just so baffling. It's such the mentality of Black Lives Matter, to be quite honest. That's literally their mentality. It's always somebody else's fault, but the person actually commits the crime and does the thing wrong is never talked about, never spoken of. They're just only spoken of highly, right? Never did anything wrong, no rap sheet, didn't do jack shit, and just somehow, just miraculously was shot by the police, or miraculously was thrown into a bad jail or bad corrections facility, and it's everybody else's fault for the crimes that they committed, not the crimes that the actual criminal committed. That's how this all works. Minor complained of being abused by correction officers during the move and by inmates at the youth facility. According to Minor's website, Minor killed a former foster father in 2011 who Minor wrongly blamed at the time for sexual abuse. NJDOC cannot comment on any active investigations, the State Department of Corrections in a statement said. The department has zero tolerance for abuse, and the safety and security of the incarcerated population staff are our critical importance. Minor is being held in a specialized unit in a prison for young offenders. This comes from the Department of Corrections spokesperson. It was unknown if either of the pregnant prisoners remained pregnant. In other words, either had a miscarriage or possibly an abortion. Who knows in these freaking states. The pregnancies drew attention to New Jersey's transgender prisoner policy, which was established in the wake of a settlement agreement with the State of American Civil Liberties Union. Oh, God. Of course, the ACLU has to dip their hand in everything. This just went great. ACLU, they want trans women, basically biological men, to use women's restrooms, even though there's been accounts of women being raped by these transgender people, but they're still going to push you. This isn't as an adult thing either. This has happened even at youth in schools. This is stuff they want to push. They want to have For those that have daughters in high school, again, I'm a high school teacher. Would you feel comfortable having a boy claim that he is a woman and, going through some stuff and going in there and watching your daughter get undressed? Would you be comfortable with that? Some would say, oh yeah, I'm completely comfortable with a teenage boy seeing my daughter naked, which is crazy to me. But this is what the ACLU wants, and amongst other progressive Democrats and progressive leftists. The policy requires transgender prisoners to be held in prisons that match their gender identity, not their actual biological sex, but their identity, what they think they are. Folks, I need to just put this in perspective, and I know that you all understand this, but for the sake of just the show, this person got incarcerated for manslaughter, for killing somebody. And they're going to treat him as if he's capable of understanding some sort of gender identity that he is a woman. They're going to play into this fictitious world that he's living in. And it's so baffling to me that they're willing to play into it. But this is where the Democrat Party's at. The spokesperson said that DOC continues to follow the agreement and is currently reviewing the policy for housing transgender incarcerated persons with the intention of implementing minor modifications. Most states house transgender prisoners in facilities matching their biological gender. Last year, California began allowing trans inmates to request transfer to prisons that do not match their biological sex. Hundreds reportedly applied for the transfers. Shocking. Why wouldn't they? Why freaking wouldn't they? Can you imagine you're in prison, you're in there for freaking life, and you obviously can't have sex because you're just with nothing but dudes, and you go, hell, man, if I just tell them that I'm a woman, I can go get all that, you know what, at another prison, another state, and get 2 people pregnant, or even possibly rape them. Last year, speaking of, a transgender prisoner at New York's infamous Rikers Island jail raped a female prisoner while in the women's section of the lockup, according to authorities. Rommel Blount, 33, who goes by Diamond Blount, took a deal to plead guilty to attempted rape April 7th and was sentenced to 7 years, according to New York Post. Also last year, a transgender inmate allegedly raped a developmentally disabled woman while both were confined behind bars at the Washington State Correction Center. So it's not like it's unfounded. It's not like it's made up. You saw 2 examples, most recent examples of what took place, but they can't fathom that there'd be like this, that would do this. It is so baffling that you have in these interviews, these street interviews, that whether it's, Sav Says from Blaze Media, the Daily Wire going out, or whoever it may be, you have these people going, oh, I don't think anybody would do that. When you ask them, well, do you think a prisoner that's a biological male would pretend to be female and then go rape somebody, or just want to go to another facility that caters to their gender identity so they can have sex with other people? No, I can't believe somebody would do that. Why would they do that? Yet they're talking about actual criminals that are willing to go kill people, right? Rape people in prison, kill people in prison. This still left. They're not there. They're so similar to Joe Biden. And that's why those shorts I make, it's called This is the Democrat Party. Because when the head is clueless, the body's clueless. Meaning if Joe Biden's clueless, the party itself clueless, and it falls down to the American people that vote for that knucklehead to go in office. All 92% of you that are Democrats have voted for that idiot. That's where you're at as well, because you're in for all this. This is what you want. This is the America you want to create. America of theft, America of crime, America where you have these freaking inmates say that they're female, go into a female facility, get everybody pregnant, rape other people, rape a disabled, developmentally disabled woman. This is the America that the Democrats want. You're not going to see this coming from Republicans or conservatives. With that being said, folks, that is all the news I have for you today. I hope you enjoyed it. Make sure to hit that like and subscribe button, and I will see you tomorrow here on The Bald Brad Show. I hope you enjoyed that clip from The Bald Brad Show. If you did, make sure to hit that subscribe button so you can stay up to date on all our future content.